Hey, what's going on everybody? Jake here with Venture Visuals, and today we are going to be dropping some money overlays into our music video timeline to give our visuals some extra sauce. These overlays are one of a kind and incredibly useful for any song or video that references money. I've had a great time using these overlays, and it's really helped add a whole new dimension to my more recent edits. So a little side note before we get into today's tutorial: if you want to get your own music video edited by me personally, hit me up on Instagram at Venture Visuals. I'm always looking for new collaborations, and it's been great working with some of you guys out there in this community already. A lot of you guys have been sending me some really dope footage, and it's been awesome working with you to create these dope visuals. So if that sounds interesting to you, hit me up on Instagram. If you're excited about learning how you can add these money overlays to your next edit, hit the like button below and let's get this money together, guys. Let's go. In today's tutorial, we're going to be using two separate money overlay packs to give our footage a really distinct look. So you can see these two packs separated here on my timeline. This first pack is here and the second pack is over here. Now this first pack is the money effects pack done by Cinepacks. I'll include a link to this pack down below. And it's got a bunch of really cool kind of 2D stop motion type money animations that are going to look really sick over some of our footage. With that being said, it also has some more fluid money clips, like you can see here, where the money just kind of falling into the screen, wiping across the screen. So there's a lot of uses in this one pack. It really has a lot of bang for your buck, and I've been really enjoying using it on my more recent music video edits. This pack on the right side of our timeline is Bryan Delimata's money pack, which I'll include a link to down below as well. This one is a little bit more synthetic, a little bit less real feeling. We have a nice money vortex going here, and then if I scroll down a little bit farther, you can see we've got a clip of some money falling up, which is really interesting. We got some left to right money. So both these packs that we're going to be showcasing today have their own unique assets. I actually have a little snippet of a music video here on my timeline, and we're going to be throwing some of these money overlays over this actual music video. Before we continue this tutorial, question of the day is, what song have you been listening to on repeat? For me, it's been Bag Boy by Joey Purp. It's super motivating and the song just slaps. So I'm really interested in hearing what you guys have been vibing out to. I'm looking to add a few more tracks to my playlist. So comment down below and let me know. One thing to note before we place our first money overlay onto our timeline is that you primarily want to be using more stable footage before you throw these overlays onto your timeline. And that's just because it helps blend these overlays with the actual environment. It makes it look a little bit more realistic. So for this first example, we have this shot here of the artist. He's outside what looks like to be a gas station sitting on his car. And you can see that the shot is very stable. There's not a whole lot of bouncing around, not a lot of shakiness in the actual shot. For this example, I'm going to be using the $100 bills floating up from Bryan Delimata's money pack. So what I'm going to do is just click and drag this overlay over where our footage is. So right there. And I don't even have to change the blend mode or anything because it's already rendered with a transparent background. Now, probably the most important step at this point would be to blend this money in with the environment. So you can see the money is slightly overexposed compared to the rest of the scene. It just looks a little bit unnatural. So what I'm going to do is go into my effects panel, throw a Lumetri color onto our money overlay layer. First, I'm going to change the exposure. We're going to bring the exposure just a hair down. We're going to also increase the contrast a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is just take some sharpen up under our creative tab. And I can also apply a little bit of faded film to kind of blend this money in, make it look just a little bit more scuffed up. That's starting to look a little bit better to me. I might even just take the exposure down just a hair more. Let's go to like -0.7. So here's before, right? So really bright money, and here's after, right? It kind of blends more in with the overall scene. Another great method in order to make this money look more blended with the rest of the scene is going to be to highlight both the overlay and the clip, right click and hit nest. So this is going to basically smush the overlay and the clip together into one clip. So I'm gonna go ahead and type in transform under my effects panel and click and drag it onto my nested sequence. Now, because we nested the overlay and the clip together, when we scale this camera in, the money is going to stay where it's at in the frame. And this is going to make it look more natural. It's going to make it look more authentic, as if it were actually in the shot itself. So I'm going to start this clip zoom at a value. Let's go to like 150 here. So it's pretty zoomed in there in the beginning. I'm gonna make a keyframe under scale, and then I'm going to reset this scale value and drag the second keyframe to the end. Now, as I scroll over the shot, you can see the camera starts to zoom out and the money is, you know, kind of staying in the same place as if it were actually in the shot. So this is what it's gonna look like after I combine the Lumetri color with the transform effect, and you can see the money makes you almost do a double take. It's almost like as if it were actually there in the scene. And that's what I love about this money pack from Bryan Delimata. It's really convenient, easy to use. You don't have to play around with it too much to make it look sick and have it look well blended with your scene. Now, if I want to take the look of this scene one step further and maybe make it look a little bit more edited, what I can do is double click into my nested sequence, come over to your effects panel and type in VR Glow. And I actually really love this effect. It's one of my favorites built into Premiere Pro. I'm just gonna click and drag that onto my floating money overlay. Now you're not gonna see much difference right away. So what we're going to do is make a keyframe under Luma threshold, and we're gonna take that value down to 0. That's going to enable our money to start glowing, and it just kind of adds to the surrealism of the look. Now what I can do to kind of fade this glow out before the clip moves that far forward is move about halfway down where this overlay is in the timeline. I'm just gonna reset the parameter value back down to its original, so the glow is totally non-existent as the clip moves forward, but it just starts with that little glow. It's kind of like that little cherry on top. So as I play it back here, you can see as the clip starts, the money kind of has like that glow shimmer to it, and it just makes it look a little bit more interesting. It's kind of like that little cherry on top that we all love when it comes to these types of edits. For this next example, we're gonna be creating some money transition overlays using the cinepacks money effects pack. This is really cool. Here you can see we got some loops on our timeline already, and these are just gonna be really easy drag and drop kind of transitions that we can put in our timeline. So what I'm gonna do is just take this first transition from the cinepacks money effects pack. I'm just gonna overlay it onto video layer 2, and you can see that without even having to do any masking or anything, it starts to come into the frame here, and as long as you center it up good, it's going to reveal the next clip. So here we go, boom, money, boom. So I really like this look. I just think that the transition itself maybe lasts just a hair too long. So what I'm gonna do is click onto my money overlay. I'm gonna hit Command R, and let's speed this up to maybe 150%. Just scooch it over here on our timeline so that it lines up. So here we go. It's a little bit sped up now. Boom. A little bit quicker, a little bit more subtle, and it flows a lot better with the edit. Let's try this one out here where Benjamin Franklin kind of rips out from the middle there. Let's click and drag this over 2 of our clips on our timeline. All right, so here we go. Ready? Boom. Very creative. So we're gonna try one more transition from the cinepacks money effects pack, and this one really caught my eye. It's really cool. It's more complex animation here. This one obviously is a little bit longer transition, but that's okay. Maybe we speed it up here. Let's go to like 125%. Just drag it over here, make sure that it's lined up with our cut. All right, so here we go, boom. Yes, this one's super crispy. I really like this one. It's a little bit quicker than I anticipated, and honestly, it just blends well with the transition in between these 2 clips. It doesn't really distract too much from the actual footage. It's kind of more just that eye candy that's gonna make your viewer go,
wait, what? How did he do that?
So right before we get out of here today, just to kind of give you guys more of a preview, you know, we can see here some more of these transition money overlays in the cinepacks money effects pack here on my timeline. There's quite a few of them. You can tell that they spent a good amount of time ripping around and playing with the money and animating it to get these really cool transitions. Bryan's pack also has a lot of really dope stuff in its own right. You know, you got this money vortex shot here. You again have all sorts of different kind of crazy money overlays, you know, where the money's flying up out of the screen. It's a lot smoother, and that's why I say it's maybe a little bit more synthetic looking. It doesn't look as real as maybe the cinepacks money effects pack does, but that's okay because you don't need everything to look totally real. Sometimes you just want to add some eye-catchy effects in your next edit, and that's what I think this pack is really great for it. Both of these packs are extremely unique and can be used in so many different ways. It's been such a joy using both of these packs in my more recent music videos, and as you saw today, it really does not take that long to blend these overlays with your footage to give it even a more real life, authentic type of feel. So if you're interested in getting your hands on either of the packs that I showed you guys today in this video, definitely check the links down below. So as you saw today, you don't need to go out and buy fake money to put in your next music video. Sometimes you just need to find some really cool overlays to kind of fill that void and add that other dimension to your edit. If you're a video editor who's currently working on some projects and looking to sauce them up, definitely feel free to check out my website, venturvisuals.com. I have a bunch of stuff on there from overlays, title templates, and more. And you can try every pack for free when you download my free pack. I'll make sure to include a link to that free pack down below. I really appreciate everybody who's been watching my videos. I've been working really hard at updating some of my packs and working on future packs as well. I've been having a great time doing it. And it's been awesome networking with this community and meeting so many of you guys through this channel and through my Instagram. Please comment below any tutorial ideas you might want me to create. I appreciate you guys tuning in. And until next time, I'm Jake Venner. Peace out.